There are a couple of articles this month that I'd like you to take a look at. They certainly made me think a little bit. One is our cover story on technology. It's about technologies that are available right now for you to implement. Good article. Really talks about how this, it mentions how you don't have to adopt or implement everything that comes down the pike. It's about doing your homework. It's about doing the research on what will work best for your organization. And making decisions based on that. I know it sounds basic, but I think a lot of times, these technologies come down and we talk about them, and people are thinking, well, this is why are you talking about this? This doesn't apply to my organization or what have you. And certainly no one is ever saying that. But so that's the one. The other one is Robert Tutterow talked about apparatus accessibility, whether it's getting equipment on or off of the truck, whether it is getting in or out of the truck. Apparatus accessibility as it applies to safety. And one of the things that he mentioned were the rigs back in the day, a lot fewer compartments. And so, of course, that made me reminisce about the trucks that I came up on. That always happens. But it made me think about a picture that I took of two of our rigs, the 81 LaFrance I always talk about, and what was then the current first out piece, both labeled 302. So it's the 302s. Started to think about how different how different they are in size, but they've both seen some fire. But about the only thing that they have in common, besides having seen some fire throughout their years, is the automatic transmission. That's about it. Everything on that LaFrance, just about everything was manual. But I started to think about those technologies. The LaFrance, when we owned it, did not have a thermal imaging camera on it. That came down the road. And those thermal imaging cameras was technology that we really didn't have to think a whole lot about. They so complemented our tried and true search and rescue tactics that we didn't have to put much thought into it. That was something we wanted. And once that barrier of cost was removed, they became pervasive. And it just so those two were sort of connected in that way. I also wanted to mention, so take a look at Robert's keeping it safe this month. So it's a pretty good one.